Cool. Welcome back to PazPod. Phil, it's episode 12 of season two, and we've actually done 2 weeks on the bounce for the first time in
Well,
season two. How are we doing?
more than us. Yeah, we've just been busy, haven't we? Yeah, two episodes actually takes quite a long time. This one will hopefully not drag on and bore people to death, but yeah, it's nice to get a bit of rhythm back in our output.
Exactly. It's not often we've been described as having with rhythm or with them, as that
Or rhythm,
sounds,
yeah.
or with them.
Sorry, Jonathan was.
um, so last week there was only one game, and that wasn't really enjoyable to talk about. So we could talk about the Six Nations. Phil, what an opening weekend, as neutrals would call it.
Yeah, it was. It started off very well, didn't it, with the Ireland Wales game? I thought Ireland looked awesome.
Yeah,
They're really good attacking rugby, really entertaining. Wales did well considering the decimation of their squad from maybe last year. So it was a really entertaining game. I thought it set up this. It's always good to have a good game to start the Six Nations, and that was a good start.
yeah, definitely. I mean, we're not doing a team of the week. And I'll give you the story of why I asked if you had one. But in the one I did randomly jot down, there were 6 out of the 15 were Irishmen. I think they're in with a shout of winning it, to be fair.
The way they're playing, they definitely are. I think they really put a lot of pressure on opposition backlines. I think, although the lad who played at outside centre for Wales, who played on the wing for the Lions, I can't remember his name,
Josh Adams.
Josh Adams, was very good in attack. I don't think he was that comfortable defending at 13, which might have helped Ireland in there. But you've also got to remember the Irish pack's massive and unbelievably strong, and they're coached by like an all-time hero who, I don't know if you saw the footage pre-match, but he was just screaming at them while they're doing the line-out practice.
Was he?
So
Amazing.
I'm guessing Paul O'Connell's a pretty sort of intense coach.
Yeah, you can imagine so.
So it's not a crap pack either. And to be honest, I was really disappointed with England's forwards, and I can see Ireland sort of having the better of them too.
Yeah, definitely. Just before we move on to the next game, I thought someone that was quite exciting to see back and firing was Bundyaki. He's kind of him being back in that channel is. I mean, most teams would like a Bundyaki in that channel, and it's something that England definitely missed. Was that big hit? But it was nice to see him back and firing, wasn't it?
Yeah, I like him. He's in my fantasy team, so I was pretty happy when he went straight over for a 5-pointer in the first 10 minutes. But yeah, it's funny one because England just haven't had that direct 12 for quite a few years now, and I think we sorely miss it.
Yeah.
Whereas Ireland, France, Wales to a certain extent until recent years have always had that power man at 12 to get them on the front foot, and I think it shows with England because they just seem to run out of ideas and
yeah,
give up and everything.
It's difficult because when you had the Ford Farrell, and then Farrell was at 12, and then you had the 13. Sometimes if Manu was fit, it worked because they could just give it to Manu until he got injured. But I wouldn't be surprised if Manu's in the squad, not this week after, considering he came off the bench for Sale against Quins. Give him 60 minutes under this weekend, and then he'll probably be starting for England the week after, if I'm honest.
Well, there'll be the gap as well, won't they? So we'll have a 2-week.
2 weeks, sorry.
So yeah, that probably might well be the case, to be fair.
Yeah. Do you start him though?
I think we've got to have something else in that centres. I mean, looking Woolly Wonka ticket winner again.
See, I like him at 13. I do,
but he just didn't do anything.
No, he didn't do anything, but neither did about 11 other people on the pitch.
No.
I do get it. Do we want to talk about the Luke Cowan-Dickie?
I mean,
flat. It's not his fault, really, that we lost the game.
No, but I think his excuse, like his initial tweet about being really sorry and hates letting the team down and all this, fine. I can accept that in the modern day that you have to put that out. But the second one, it was like, I didn't even know the rules that you couldn't hit it into touch with your hands. It's like, shut up.
Don't go around saying that, because actually it's you're paid to know the game.
Yeah. Oh, well, also, he didn't just hit it out with his hands. He smashed it forward about 5 meters as well. So
yeah, he definitely spiked it. But all I've heard is Joe Marler's upset because he's ruined his 100% frame record. So
that was one of the best tweets of the week.
Yeah,
personally,
I think we should have each week a Marler tweet of the week, because he come out with good ones. But to be fair, I know I said England. There's loads of people in the pitch that didn't do much. We weren't bad. We were just not clinical, which is kind of what we've been an issue in.
I think what I noticed is there was just no threat in attack.
Yeah.
You know, we've scored a try with Smith. Smith?
Yeah, Smith.
Yeah, Smith scored, didn't he? Another one in my fantasy team.
At least
he scored after quite a few phases, but we didn't start too far away from the line.
No, he was driving Maul off the line, wasn't it?
Yeah, I don't think any other English attack threatened the line.
Well, what I don't get is, and I think I said it to you or Jim, so I said it to someone, but took Marcus Smith off, that then ruined the game. There was no pace in that game at all then, because Ford, as well as he's been doing in the Prem, it's been average. So that was one miss, and it's not often I blame Eddie Jones, but Eddie Jones made that mistake. He then didn't bring on Jamie George when we had the line out, which led to the penalty or whatever, the try, and then bringing Jack Nolan on the 81st minute of an 80-minute game was just fucking pointless. He's one of the best wingers in the tournament, and he's 30 seconds.
Eddie Jones has got this weird thing where he'll do the opposite of what anyone says to him in the media, and he's got this thing now where he almost plans for when a sub's coming on. So you know, Smith was just getting going in that second half, and he whips him off and puts on George forward cold, and it all kind of fell apart from there. So it's an odd one. I'm not a massive fan of Eddie Jones. I don't enjoy watching his rugby at all.
No, I kind of get where he comes from on most of it, but I'm in the same. I've moved to the same camp as a few people where I don't like them being called finishers now, because they're coming on, most of them. Whereas actually, if the game doesn't need it, or if the game is going to slow down because they're coming on, then why on earth are we doing it? Yeah. Like Ben Young's had an alright game, but there's Harry Randall. If you brought Harry Randall on with Marcus Smith for 10 minutes to see what happened, that's two extremely rapid little 9 and 10s there, which could probably have just picked up the pace for 10 minutes and got some points. But there we go. France, Italy.
I didn't see much of this one. It kind of went the way you'd expect it to go eventually. But it looked like from the brief highlights I saw that they actually were in the game and going tap for tap for the first 40-odd minutes. Yeah. Which is good, which is what we've all been wanting, really. I think, with that 6th team in the competition, we want it to be competitive, and there's all the talk about bringing in Georgia or whoever. But if Italy can turn things around, because they've had a rough few years where they've just not been competitive at all, that's a good thing. Obviously, with my passion for the Italian rugby team as well, that's quite good for me to see. You
and your favourite player, Negroni Negri, or whatever his name is.
Yeah.
But to be fair, two things before we talk to our guest. I think, one, Italy, if they played like they did against France, could give Wales a bit of a, I don't know if they'd beat them, but they'd definitely be making sure they're touching cloth. And Georgia, in the Six Nations 2, whatever it's called, drew 25 or 35-35 with Portugal. So maybe they're not that good anymore.
Well, I think, like Italy have had over the last few years, where Italy basically lost a whole squad to retirement. Georgia, I think, are going through a similar phase now. And that Portugal team's not bad. I mean, in that second tier, you got Portugal, Spain, Romania, and Belgium and Georgia, I think.
I think so. You've got some tasty players in there.
There's some good rugby players in there. So Georgia aren't always going to have it their own way. And if it's a hot sunny day in Portugal, I think that's the last thing most of those Georgian front rowers want.
And to be fair, the only reason it comes around is because they have won it most of the time. But it was that time when Georgia went down to Penny Hill and scrummed the England pack around, didn't they? And turned into a brawl in a training session. And then everyone thought Georgia were the best thing since Italy. But yeah. Just last week, I've been asked to make a public apology by Jim Reeson because we were talking about who we think are going to win. And I said, hands down, France are outstanding. They're going to win. And the only French player I put in our Six Nations team was Dupont. So I apologise to Jim for that. He called us naive.
Well,
we only put Dupont in. I had an excuse of, it's fine, they're a wonderful team, but it doesn't mean they're outstanding, well-cast individuals.
Correct. I don't think man for man, they have the best players apart from Dupont. I think there are better players around, but sadly the other teams have only got scatterings.
Yeah, so we apologise, but you're wrong. So shall we get ready to speak to our guest, someone that people may not know?
Yeah, I think there's going to be a few people that don't know. Cam Seaton has been playing at 12 for most of the season for the first team. Appeared out of nowhere to most people who didn't know his whereabouts. So, yeah, it could be quite interesting conversation with young Cam.
Let's chat to Cam. So here's Cam. Cam Seaton, how you doing, mate? You all right?
Not bad, you?
Yeah, good. You've just been playing six-a-side, am I right?
Six-a-side?
Is that right?
Who's told you that?
Phil.
I think he might have made that one up now.
Oh, I thought you were playing with Taryn.
I didn't know he did six-a-side, to be honest, but no, I've been boxing tonight.
Oh, boxing. Whereabouts you
boxing?
No. Yeah, I'm a bit of a beginner still. I've only been doing it once a week, but since like October time, just as like a bit of a try something new.
So, watch that pretty little face of yours, mate. So for those who don't know, you've been playing, like Phil said in your intro, you've been playing in the centres for the first team. But Cam, let everyone know, how did you get into playing rugby?
Playing rugby, well, about year 6 school, I reckon. I was playing football, and I just thought everyone else was playing football. I just wanted to do something different, so I just started playing rugby. Pretty much it, really. Just watched on TV times and thought, I want to try something different. No
That's
family.
comprehensive.
Yeah.
Where did you go?
I started at Mansfield when I was younger, because it was just like the closest club. I stayed there till about, I think, 3 years, and I went to Derby, and I was playing there till I was 16, and then moved to college, and then carried on playing at college at Loughborough, and then carried on at uni, and then since then, Paviors.
So you're currently on a gap year, aren't you, or something?
Well, it's not really gone as planned, to be honest. I was meant to go to Australia at the start. Then I kind of thought, if I'm going to go, I don't really want to just go for like a few months. I want to have a decent stint at it. So I'm just kind of, like, earlier on, I was picking up work where I could, and obviously I've worked with Nate a bit as well. And I'm sort of applying for things now, just trying to build a bit of money up so I can go after uni, really.
It's not really a plan. Yeah. I know a few people that was looking to go over. There's one or two at the club that are looking to go over to Australia in the last year and a bit, but obviously COVID.
I think Ewan was at one point.
Yeah. He took a wrong turn in there this time, didn't he? He's gone the completely opposite way to Australia.
Well, he's halfway there.
Just in time.
Yeah. That's true. I forget the world is sphere and isn't just one flat map. You have to come back all the way to go to us. So what uni were you again?
Loughborough.
So what was it like playing uni at Loughborough? Rugby at Loughborough?
First year I was in like the 3rd and 4th team, which was it was all right to be fair. It was like good to start with, and then going in second year it got hit with COVID, so we didn't play any games. But I was training with the Group 1 all year, which was good, like training. But obviously I've not actually played a game for Loughborough for over about 2 years now. So in terms of uni rugby, it's quite fast. Like, it's not like your typical men's league. Like, it's quite physical. It's quite fast. It's good to learn how to play at a high level.
Yeah, was Durham fast, Phil?
Not particularly. We were in that top division, or it's not the same anymore. I think now the Super League's like the whole country. But when I was there, we were in the top division, but it was split north and south.
Where were you?
I was at Durham.
Oh yeah, so you're pretty.
But we were crap. It wasn't the Durham as it is now. They did that sort of a few years after I left, so we were pretty crap. Sort of few of us turned pro after, but not many. It was more of a drinking, social team than anything else.
Pretty crap, but you turned pro. Is that what it is?
Well, the team was pretty crap.
Yeah.
I wasn't too bad.
Yeah.
Phil looked good. That's how you get in pro.
Compared to the other people.
Yeah.
It's not hard. So after uni, you found Pavs. How did you find Pavs?
Well, obviously, I knew some of the boys from who used to be at Mansfield have come this way, like Taz, and there was Zaid and Kian. But mainly, I just found out it was like the highest ranked team in the local area, wasn't it? I thought it'd be a decent fit to come down and give it a crack.
Sound. Luckily, you managed to injure Dougie's hand, and you're well on your way to a starting position in the ones.
Yeah, well, thank God he's injured.
Otherwise, I'd be back at Manchester.
I don't know where I'd be. Yeah.
Phil, what's it been like having Cam come in and join the team?
Well, he saved her ass, to be fair. There was no chance that I was going back out to 12. And
I only found out the other week that you were playing 12 for a bit as well.
Yeah, so I threw a pass to score a try at Nuneaton, and he was like, "I bet you've never thrown a pass like that before." And I was like, "Mate, you are genuinely wearing the shirt I've just worn for 3 years." So
that's why it's bagging.
Back in my box.
He's been great. We've got a very young backline. And I think that can be quite entertaining. It can be a pain in the arse to coach, but it can be quite entertaining at times in games. Yeah. We've got some young lads out there, which is great. George is bringing up the average age significantly, and Johnny's sort of sitting in there too. So it's good to see we've got these players coming through who are keen to play a decent level of rugby. Yeah,
definitely. It is good to see you group of mates. I know Rimo may not have been a mate, but I guess you probably include him in that circle of friends now. But you're lining up. It's good because you obviously just know each other quite well and vibe off each other. Look at me getting
who are you?
Fucking good vibes, chill vibes. That was awkward. I'm gonna kind of drink myself to death from there. But are you enjoying it, Cam?
Yeah, it's been good so far. Since I've joined, I've felt pretty welcome, if you know what I mean. It's a good group of lads, especially the young ones, a good mix, if you know what I mean. You don't feel like you're out of it at any point.
Yeah.
I had to wait a while to build build them relations with mates. It was pretty seamless transition, to be fair.
Yeah, we do kind of pride ourselves on that a little bit. I think that we have got a bit of an arrogance in the sense of that if you turn up to training, you're one of us at that point, unless you're a real dick. There's one or two.
But they don't tend to last too long, though, do they?
No, some last a lot longer than you hope.
Yeah, I know. John T's one of the kind, though, isn't
he? Yeah, I know. John T and his best mate. But yeah, so obviously you enjoying it. What's been your standout moment so far this season in a Pav shirt?
In a Pav shirt, probably the first game I played. So it was at home against Broad Street. I think everyone was on a bit of a losing run, weren't they? But everyone seemed to be pretty buzzing after that. It's a bit of a turn, wasn't it?
Yeah, well, it was the first game we had a decent backline for a start, so that helps us a lot. Cam coming in and being able to play a centre as a centre rather than trying to string a full back into playing centre or pushing George or Taryn out there and not getting the benefit of their ability to play 10. That Broad Street game.
Nice way of saying they're shit centres, isn't it?
Yes, pretty much. Yeah. It's just good. And that Broad Street, I think we were 25-0, didn't we, Cam?
Something like that. Yeah. They got 3. They took a 3.
Oh, did they get 3? Did they?
Yeah.
So that was a pretty good result for us at that point, and we've kind of kicked on from there. We've had one or two bad performances since, but it's been pretty solid, I think, since then.
Yeah, I do think it's building. Like I've noticed it's getting better since I started. Like it's just I was stringing things together better.
Yeah, I think having nearly 2 years off, and a lot of lads making some life decisions and having kids and all doing that sort of malarkey in that period, has changed sort of everyone's feelings towards the game. So not everyone's in the same place, and that took a bit of adjustment, I think, post-COVID to get used to again.
Yeah, definitely. But it does seem, and just from the sidelines, it seems like it's starting to gel now. We kind of know the direction we want to go, and we're starting to take yards towards it.
Yeah, I think so. It's it's not easy. We're an amateur club in a semi-professional league. It's a bit of a no-win situation for us in the most part. But when we put together a good performance and challenge these teams where they're paying lads good money, it's actually quite enjoyable because putting pressure on people's quite good fun.
Yeah, got a visitor, Cam.
I have, yeah. Not when you want to see though.
Oh, right, okay. We'll wait for the ones I want to see. So Sandbach away. Are you around this weekend, Cam?
I am. I'm around. I'm not sure whether I'm staying after though. Yeah. I was meant to go to people in Loughborough still last weekend, but I was meant to go last weekend, but I think I'm going this weekend instead.
So you're going to go from you're literally as far away from Loughborough as you can be during the season.
I was thinking that, but Maps said it's only about an hour and 20, so it can't be too bad. I reckon.
So you're driving, are you?
Yeah, probably.
Oh, mate.
But I might make a U-turn. You don't know.
Don't take your car. Just get on the bus.
And then I can't go.
That's upsetting, isn't it? Well, depends if I've got a game, really. I might do. I'd fancy a bus trip, but I'm not done one yet, and everyone knows I'm not done one yet. So I'd be fucked because I've been addicted the last year and a half on this. so maybe not. But how's the Greek feeling about Saturday's game? Is it something people spoke about yet, or not really?
What, just in general, like how we feel about the game?
Yeah, because obviously Sandbach lost to DK last week, which was a bit of a shock. But obviously they're also quite a good team. So
I haven't really heard anything like special, like different about it to what the other games. To be honest, I think it's pretty just another game, isn't it? Like treat it as we go, like what we said after the games against Newport and Seaton. If we play like that against the other teams in the league, we've got much more chance of winning. But we've probably been guilty of going into games with like lower half of the club league, thinking that if we play like that, we're gonna win, but we never ended up not playing like that. So, yeah.
Do you agree?
Yeah, I totally agree with that. I think Sandbach last week obviously playing on a week that was meant to be a week off, so you never know what they're doing with their team on a week off like that. They've had to scramble some players together or whatever, or they've got COVID, or something's happened. But we can't turn up thinking it's going to be an easy game, because when we do that, we play garbage. So it's just another one where we're going to have to graft for 80 minutes. We've done it for the last two games against two good teams and really push them to the end. So we'll have to see. It's it's never nice going to Sandbach. It's pretty open and pretty up in the north. So praying for dry weather and somewhere where I might have to wear 21s.
Yeah, I think it's there for the taking. I think I've not watched obviously much of this league, but I know that because I've done my research, this week. But I know Sandbach have won, I think, just 1 in 4. So obviously they're going to want to be firing. We're going to want to be firing because it's a long old journey back. Getting drunk if it's not a W, it's a lot better if it is a win on a bus back. But yeah, Phil, do you have anything else to ask our new recruit in the centres? Not that he's a new recruit anymore, but
where are you getting your haircut? Because you look like Friar Tuck.
Friar Tuck, is that what you think?
From here, it's very Friar Tuck time. You've got to agree with that.
It is.
I was recommended by Terrence's place in Mansfield Woodhouse. So, yeah,
You got your hair cut in Mansfield Woodhouse.
Yeah.
It's your own fucking fault, then, isn't it?
They're not doing a bad job.
I can't comment on hair, but I still find that disappointing. I'd rather look like this than look like you at the minute.
Which part do you find disappointing? Because I don't know. I'm struggling to see.
The front bit. It might be sweaty from obviously your boxing.
This bit here. This bit here.
I think it's where. Oh wow!
Trying to cover my hairline.
Oh, he's got a bit of a receder, hasn't he?
You and Phil are in a race on that side.
I've got
Have you ever seen Plebs?
Yes. Yes.
Grumio. We've got Grumio on camera with us. Cam, I'll show you a picture of training tomorrow. Yeah.
I think you're going to see Dudley Barber in Cam, if I were you.
Charges too much.
He does.
Tell me about it.
He does.
Tell me about it.
Yeah.
Use PadsPod 50%. You might get off.
Every time I go.
Ridiculous, isn't it? Anyway, stealing a living, still can't buy jeans that properly fit him. But anyway, Cam, thanks for coming on, mate. And we'll catch up with you in a few weeks.
Nice one.
So that was Cam. Good lad, isn't he?
Of course it was. I get hammered for everything I say every week. You do that every week, and no one's ever mentioned it.
So yeah, Cam, good lad, isn't he?
Yeah, brilliant. It was good to have him on. He's quite, he's rescued us a little bit this season in terms of the first team and having a 12 and a centre to play off. And Jack Taylor's obviously grown in that 13 channel, so that we've got a nice little pair in there now. So Dougie's going to ruin that whenever he comes back. But yeah, it's been good, and he's a good lad as well. Yeah,
definitely. He's and he has slipped into the group quite easily, and he has not just the young Spunkers team, just the full kind of senior setup. Like,
I think he's got quite this like personality where he's kind of unassuming, and he's almost like happy when someone talks to him. So yeah, he fits in perfectly.
Yeah, 100%. So things that are coming up at the club is the Maggie Sportsman lunch, but that's sold out, which is really, really good. Sorry,
it's great news. Yeah, it's we love doing stuff for Maggie's, and Neil's fantastic at putting these sporting dinners together, and he's done it again and filled the establishment. So well done to him. I'm sure it'll be class for everyone who's going. Sadly, I've put my hand up for parenting duty that day, which is a bit of a pain in the ass, but yeah, won't be making it myself.
No, I won't. I'm in Stratford upon Avon on a lovely little weekend away.
Culture.
I know. I will be back for the England game though, so that doesn't matter. But yeah, no, it doesn't mean you can't obviously give towards the Paviors Maggie's donation part. If you still want to be able to do that, then obviously keep an ear out for that. There really isn't anything else really. Obviously, one's away at Sandbach this week. 2's at home to Matlock, and 3's are now away to Mansfield. No academy game, hopefully 3 W's. If not, it will be a celebration anyway, I saw, because it's Fiddy Bang Bang's birthday this weekend, isn't it?
It is, and Natty Bang Bang's birthday.
And Natty Bang Bang's birthday as well.
Yeah. Will we? Yeah. So Nathan's on Friday, I'm on Sunday.
Anything fun planned? Little brother's day out?
We're having Eggleshaw get together on Sunday afternoon, I believe. I think. I
don't know.
No children Saturday night, so I can have a beer and Ruth can have a wine. Yeah, that's about it really. That's my life.
Amazing. Well, have a lovely adult birthday. And I'll talk to you tomorrow, but we'll talk to you next week, Phil.
Cheers, mate. See you then.
Bye.